If you've done everything you can and you still aren't getting the yields that you want, try some of these tips to boost your garden's health and increase the amount of fruit your trees and bushes produce. 1. Don't be hasty. Before you begin trying to encourage fruiting, make sure that your plants are old enough and healthy enough to bear the load. Standard fruit trees need anywhere from 5 to 7 years before they are ready to produce. Figs and berry bushes usually need 2 to 3 years. If you notice that your plants are producing flowers before enough time has passed, pick the blooms off before they begin the energy and nutrient-intensive process of growing fruit. This will cause the tree or bush to redirect its efforts towards growing stronger limbs and roots. 2. Go with dwarfs. If you don't want to wait several years to get fruit from your garden, consider planting dwarf varieties of your favorite trees. Dwarfs don't grow as tall or as wide as full-sized trees, so they begin to bear fruit within the first 2 to 3 years. These smaller trees also don't require as much space, making them perfect for gardeners who want to grow their own fruit but don't have a lot of land. 3. Root suckers and water spouts. While it may be our initial impulse to allow plants to keep as much new growth as possible, it's important to recognize that not all growth is good growth. The production of flowers and fruit requires a huge investment of nutrients and energy from your plants, so you want to be certain that all these resources aren't being wasted where they aren't needed. 4. Know your soil. Plants are a lot like people in that different varieties and species have different tastes. It is important to know what balance of nutrients and trace minerals is best for each plant. Soil pH can also play a big part in maximizing fruit yields. If you aren't sure what kind of soil you have, it's always better to test samples from around your trees and shrubs. Once you know what you're missing, you can amend the soil to boost future fruit production. 5. Encourage pollination. Of course, trees won't pollinate their neighbors without help. Beneficial animals like bees, hummingbirds, butterflies, and bats are a few of the top pollinators, as are some species of ants and beetles. For this reason, it is important to keep your garden hospitable for wildlife. 6. Harvest everything. This is perhaps the easiest advice to follow when it comes to growing successful fruit trees. Still, it bears mentioning. Unharvested fruit left on the branch at the end of the season actually signals to the tree or bush that it made too much that year. During the next growing season, the plant will actually produce less as a result. So make sure to pick all the fruit that your garden grows and let your plants know that you just can't get enough.